Blog, the Colorado AI Act. Reset. YSB 189 just made digital completion mandatory. From algorithmic governance to human accountability, navigating the Colorado AI Act. For 2 years, the legal teams at regional banks and healthcare groups have been bracing for the original Colorado AI Act, SB 24-205. It was supposed to be the American GDPR, a heavy-handed mandate requiring massive risk management programs and annual impact assessments. But on May 14, 2026, the script was flipped. Governor Jared Polis signed SB 189, effectively repealing the old law and replacing it with a narrower, sharper, and more dangerous framework. Automated Decision-Making Technology, ADMT, accountability. The shift. It is no longer about the system, it is about the session. The most significant change in the 2026 update is the removal of the reasonable care duty to prevent algorithmic discrimination. To a casual observer, this looks like deregulation. To a compliance officer, it is a warning. Under the old version of the Colorado AI Act, you had to prove your system was safe. Under SB 189, you have to prove your decisions are defensible. The law has pivoted to a transparency-first model. If your automated lending tool or clinical risk score leads to an adverse outcome, a denied loan or a rejected treatment plan, you have exactly 30 days to provide a plain language explanation of how the tech made that choice. This is where the execution gap becomes a legal liability. If you cannot produce a deterministic record of the specific session where that decision was made, you are not just non-compliant, you are defenseless. The 3 new pillars of Colorado compliance. Regulated industries can no longer hide behind vendor certifications. SB 189 places the burden of proof squarely on the deployer, the bank, or the hospital. Here is what the law now requires for any consequential decision. 1. Point of interaction. Notice. You must notify the consumer before the ADMT materially influences the decision. This is not a checkbox in a 40-page T&C document. It must be a clear, conspicuous disclosure in the digital workflow. 2. Post-adverse outcome disclosure. Within 30 days of a rejection, you must explain the specific role the technology played. You must provide the why in plain language, not code. 3. Meaningful human review. Consumers now have the right to challenge an automated decision. The reviewer must have the authority to override the system. If your human reviewer is just rubber stamping an AI output, you are in violation of the statute. Why regional banks and healthcare are the target. The Colorado legislature specifically named financial services and healthcare services as the primary domains for this updated Colorado AI Act. In our previous blog, Navigating the EU AI Regulation, we discussed how global standards are converging. Colorado is the first U.S. state to prove this by adopting the transparency over governance model. For a regional bank using an automated loan platform or a healthcare billing group using AI for eligibility, the risk is not just a system audit. The risk is a class action lawsuit based on a single undocumented adverse outcome, bridging the gap with deterministic workflows. This is where the concept of completion and compliance moves from a marketing category to a survival strategy. Most software focuses on the input, the data, or the output, the decision. SB 189 regulates the bridge between them. As we explored in our recently mentioned blog, Beyond the Black Box, Achieving Deterministic Completion in FinTech, the only way to satisfy a regulator is to show a complete, immutable audit trail of the user interaction. If your digital intake process is leaky, meaning users drop off or data is not captured securely, you cannot provide the plain language description the law requires. You need a completion layer that locks in the disclosure at the point of interaction and archives the decision logic for the mandatory 3-year record retention period. The clock is ticking. While the effective date for SB 189 is January 1st, 2027, the rulemaking process is happening right now. The Colorado Attorney General has been clear. There will be no grace period for institutions that lack a basic audit trail under the Colorado AI Act. You cannot defend what you cannot document. If your automated workflows are not capturing the notice and disclosure requirements today, you are already building a compliance debt that will come due in 6 months. Don't wait for an audit to find your gaps. The shift in Colorado changed the math on your technical risk. Use the CoDN calculator at codn.callvu.com to generate your Colorado readiness map today. See exactly where your automated decisions are exposed and how to close the completion gap before the January deadline.